Listen to me for a moment, because this is the point where most people fail without even realizing it. You are not here to settle. You are not here to live a life that feels good enough. Every decision you make is a vote for the future you want. And if you keep choosing what's easy, comfortable, or familiar, you will never become the person you were born to be. Today, I want you to make a choice. Not a small one, not a temporary one, a real choice to stop living beneath your potential, to stop allowing other people to define your worth, to choose the best for yourself, because the only person who will ever fight for your dreams as hard as you should is you. Let's slow this down for a moment, because this is where everything begins. You are the CEO of your life. I want you to hear that again. Not as a slogan, not as a motivational line you clap for and then forget, but as a truth that can change the entire trajectory of your existence. Every decision you make, every choice you allow yourself to accept or reject, is a vote for the future you want. And most people don't understand that. They think their life is being shaped by circumstances, by other people, by the economy, by fate, but that's not how it works. Your life is shaped by decisions, by the repeated decisions you make when nobody is watching, by the choices you make when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're angry, when you're scared. And that's why it's so easy to fall into a life that isn't yours, because it doesn't require courage, it doesn't require clarity, it doesn't require discipline, it only requires resignation. It requires you to stop fighting for what you truly want. But I'm not here to talk to you about resignation. I'm here to talk to you about ownership, because if you want to choose the best for yourself, you must first accept that you are the one in charge. You are not a passenger, you are the driver. You are not living someone else's plan, you are writing your own. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you made a decision for yourself that was pure, not influenced by fear, not influenced by someone else's expectations, not influenced by what you think you should do? When was the last time you made a decision that came from your highest vision of who you are? Because most people don't. Most people make decisions from a place of scarcity, from a place of lack, from a place of, I can't, I'm not ready, I don't have enough, I don't deserve it. And then they wonder why they keep getting less. Because your decisions are the language of your identity, and your identity is what produces your results. You want to know why people stay in relationships that don't lift them, why they stay in jobs that drain them, why they stay in environments that shrink them? It's not because they don't know better. It's because they have not decided that they are worth more. They have not decided that they are the CEO of their life. Being the CEO of your life means you set the standard. You decide what is acceptable and what is not. You decide what you will tolerate and what you will refuse, and you don't negotiate with your own value. You don't bargain with your own worth. I want you to think about your life like a company. If you were running a business, would you allow your team to treat you poorly? Would you allow your company to accept mediocre results? Would you allow your company to operate without a clear direction? Of course not. You would set the strategy. You would set the boundaries. You would demand excellence. You would hold yourself and others accountable. So why do so many people run their own lives like a charity? Like something they have to apologize for, like something they must tolerate and endure? It's time to stop that. Because you are not a victim. You are not a bystander. You are not waiting for permission. You're not waiting for someone to hand you the life you want. You are the one who creates it. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Creating a life that reflects your highest self is not always comfortable. It's not always easy. It requires courage. It requires risk. It requires sacrifice. It requires you to say no to what is familiar, even when it's safe, because safety is the enemy of growth. But here's the thing. The pain of staying the same is far greater than the pain of change. The pain of staying in a job that drains your soul is far greater than the discomfort of stepping into something new. The pain of staying in a relationship that doesn't respect you is far greater than the temporary loneliness of walking away. The pain of living below your potential is far greater than the effort it takes to become the person you were meant to be. So if you want to choose the best for yourself, you must start making decisions like a CEO. You must start choosing from your highest standard. You must start living as if your life matters, because it does. And the world needs you to step into your greatness. Now, I want you to understand something critical. Being the CEO of your life doesn't mean you never make mistakes. It doesn't mean you never fail. It means you take responsibility for the results you create. It means you stop blaming others. It means you stop making excuses. It means you stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is never coming. The perfect moment is a myth. The perfect moment is a story people tell themselves so they can stay small. If you want to live a life that's worthy of your potential, you must take action now with the resources you have right now. And when you make a decision from that place, something powerful happens. You start to see opportunities you didn't see before. You start to attract people who match your level. You start to create momentum, because the universe responds to certainty. The universe responds to clarity. The universe responds to a person who knows what they want and is willing to fight for it. And that's the core of choosing the best for yourself. Not just wanting it, not just dreaming about it, not just wishing for it, but deciding it, declaring it, and then acting like it. You are the CEO of your life. You get to decide what kind of life you will live. You get to decide what you will accept. You get to decide what you will refuse. You get to decide what you will fight for. And you get to decide the kind of person you will become. So ask yourself today, what decision am I going to? Make that reflects my highest self. What choice am I going to make that honors my worth? What standard am I going to set that will change everything? Because once you decide, everything else becomes easy. You just have to choose. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to admit because it sounds too simple. Your standards determine your destiny, not your luck, not your talent, not your education, not your connections, your standards. The level you set for what you will accept and what you will not. And I want you to understand this clearly. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you tolerate. You get what you allow. You get what you repeat. If you allow mediocrity into your life, you will get more of it. If you tolerate disrespect, you will keep getting it. If you settle for half-hearted effort, you will keep receiving half-hearted results. And it's not because the universe is cruel. It's because you are sending a message every day with your behavior. Every time you accept less than you deserve, you're teaching your mind what you believe you're worth, and your mind doesn't care about your dreams. Your mind cares about your beliefs. It will always deliver results that match your beliefs, not your desires. So many people say, I want more, but they keep living like they don't. They keep accepting things that don't match their dreams. They keep making excuses for the people who don't respect them. They keep staying in environments that drain them. They keep choosing the easy path instead of the best path, and then they wonder why they don't feel fulfilled. They wonder why they don't feel alive. They wonder why they feel stuck. But it's simple. If you accept less, you will get less. Not because you deserve less, but because you have trained your life to give you less. Your standards are the filter through which everything passes. Think about it like this. Standards are like a gate. You can set the gate wide open and everything comes. In the good, the bad, the ugly. Or you can set the gate narrow and only what serves you can enter. When you set your standards high, you protect your energy. You protect your time. You protect your mind. You protect your future. And the most dangerous thing in life is not failure. The most dangerous thing is low standards, because low standards quietly steal your life day by day until one day you wake up and realize you have lived someone else's version of your life. You have become the person you never intended to be. So what does it mean to set your standards high? It means you don't settle for excuses. It means you don't accept maybe someday. It means you don't accept people who don't respect you. It means you don't accept a job that drains you. It means you don't accept a life that doesn't excite you. It means you say, I'm not doing that anymore. And you mean it. Now, I want you to notice something. When you raise your standards, people will test you. People will push back. They will ask you why you changed. They will tell you you're being too rigid. They will tell you you're being unrealistic. And you know what? That's normal. That's expected, because when you raise your standards, you are changing the rules of the game. And people who are used to playing the old game will resist the new one. But you have to understand, you are not here to please everyone. You are not here to be liked by people who don't see your value. You are not here to make everyone comfortable with your growth. You are here to become the best version of yourself. And that requires you to be willing to stand alone if necessary. Because the truth is, your standards are not negotiable. They are the foundation of your life. And if you don't build a strong foundation, nothing you build will last. Now, here's another thing that's important. Raising your standards doesn't mean you become rigid or unloving. It doesn't mean you become cold or selfish. It means you become clear. It means you become intentional. It means you start choosing what you will allow into your life with purpose. And when you do that, something incredible happens. You start to attract better opportunities. You start to attract better people. You start to attract better circumstances, because you are no longer broadcasting a signal of desperation. You're broadcasting a signal of self-respect. People can sense it. The world responds to it. The universe aligns with it. Not because you're special, but because you are acting like you are. You are behaving like you have value. You are behaving like you matter. And when you behave like that, your life begins to match it. Now, I want to give you a very practical question. Ask yourself, what standards have I been compromising? Where have I been lowering the bar? Where have I been accepting less because I was afraid of being alone, or afraid of being judged, or afraid of failing? And I want you to answer honestly, because the moment you identify Where you've been lowering your standards, you can change it. You can raise the bar. You can stop tolerating what doesn't serve you. You can stop making excuses. You can stop settling. And here's the beautiful part. When you raise your standards, you don't just change your life, you change your identity. You become the kind of person who doesn't accept less. You become the kind of person who knows their worth. You become the kind of person who doesn't negotiate with their dreams. And that's powerful, because your identity is what drives your actions. Your actions are what create your results. And your results are what become your life. So if you want to choose the best for yourself, you must choose the highest standard. You must decide that you are not willing to accept less than what you deserve. You must decide that you're not willing to live a life that is anything less than extraordinary. Because the truth is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your standards. So raise them and watch everything in your life change. Your standards determine your destiny. Let's talk about something most people misunderstand. They think comfort is a reward. They think comfort is what they deserve after working hard. They think comfort is the sign that they've made it. But comfort is not a reward. Comfort is a trap. Comfort is the place where dreams go to die. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. Because comfort is not a state of peace. Comfort is a state of stagnation. And if you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to understand one fundamental truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It's not the enemy of happiness. It's not the enemy of rest. It's the enemy of progress. Now, don't get me wrong. Rest is important. Recovery is important. But what I'm talking about is the kind of comfort that keeps you small. The kind of comfort that keeps you in the same routine, the same job, the same relationship, the same story. The kind of comfort that makes you say, I'm fine, when inside you feel like you're dying slowly. You see, most people are addicted to comfort because it feels safe, it feels familiar, it feels predictable. And the mind loves predictable. The mind hates uncertainty. The mind hates risk. The mind hates the unknown. The mind will always try to protect you from pain, even if that pain is necessary for your growth. But here's the thing. If you want the best for yourself, you have to choose clarity over comfort. You have to choose what's true over what's easy. You have to choose what will grow you, even if it feels uncomfortable in the moment. Because clarity is power. Clarity is direction. Clarity is the ability to see what you truly want and the courage to go after it. And clarity doesn't come from comfort. Clarity comes from discomfort. Clarity comes from asking yourself the hard questions. Clarity comes from being honest about what you really want. Clarity comes from looking at your life and saying, is this what I came here for? Most people avoid clarity because it forces them to confront the truth. It forces them to face the reality that they are not living the life they truly desire. It forces them to admit that they have been settling. And settling is a form of self-betrayal. It's saying, I know I'm capable of more, but I'm choosing less because it's easier. And that's why comfort is dangerous. Because comfort gives you the illusion of peace while you're actually dying inside. Comfort makes you think you're safe, while your potential is being stolen from you one day at a time. So if you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to make a decision. You have to decide that you will not let comfort dictate your life. You have to decide that you will not allow fear to keep you small. You have to decide that you will choose clarity over comfort every time. Now, choosing clarity over comfort is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's a way of living. It's a way of showing up for yourself. Because every day you will face moments where comfort is tempting. Every day you will face moments where your mind says, just stay where you are. It's fine. You don't need more. And you have to be strong enough to say, no, I deserve more. I want more. I'm going to choose what is best for me, even if it's uncomfortable. Because comfort is a short-term pleasure with long-term consequences. It feels good in the moment, but it steals your future. It steals your potential. It steals your joy. It steals your power. And before you know it, you look back and realize you wasted years living a life that wasn't yours. So how do you choose clarity over comfort? How do you stop settling for what is easy and start choosing what is best? You start by asking yourself the right questions. You start by getting brutally honest with yourself. You start by saying, what do I truly want? What is my purpose? What would my life look like if I was living at my highest level? What am I willing to sacrifice to get there? And then you have to act. Because clarity without action is just fantasy. Clarity without action is just another dream. You can have all the clarity in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. The difference between a dream and a reality is not the dream itself. It's the action you take to make it real. And here's the key. Action doesn't have to be huge. Action just has to be consistent. It just has to be moving in the direction of your highest vision. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to start. You just need to take the next step. You just need to choose what's best for you right now. Because choosing the best for yourself is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's about being clear. It's about being willing to step into discomfort, because you know that discomfort is the doorway to your greatest growth. Now, I want you to think about your life like a path. Comfort is the easy path. It's smooth, it's predictable, it's safe, but it leads nowhere. It leads to a life that looks stable from the outside but feels empty from the inside. Clarity is the challenging path. It's rocky, it's uncertain, it requires courage, but it leads to a life that is vibrant, meaningful, and aligned with your true purpose. And the best part is, when you choose C, clarity over comfort, you start to live with intention. You start to live with purpose. You start to live like you matter. And that changes everything. So I want you to make a promise to yourself right now, a promise that you will not settle for comfort, a promise that you will choose clarity, a promise that you will choose what is best for you, even if it's uncomfortable, a promise that you will step into your power and take control of your life. Because the truth is, your best life is on the other side of discomfort. Your best life is on the other side of fear. Your best life is on the other side of the moment where you choose to stop settling. Choose clarity over comfort. Choose the best for yourself. Let me ask you a question. Who is speaking for you right now? Who is defining your boundaries? Who is setting the tone for what you will accept and what you will refuse? Because most people don't realize that the voice inside them is the one that shapes their entire life. And if you don't take control of that voice, if you don't decide what it says and what it allows, then you will live a life designed by other people's expectations, other people's opinions, other people's fears. Your inner voice is the leader of your life. It's the one that decides what you deserve. It's the one that decides what you tolerate. It's the one that decides how you treat yourself and how you allow others to treat you. And if that voice is weak, if that voice is uncertain, if that voice is constantly apologizing, then your life will reflect that. You will find yourself constantly bending, constantly giving, constantly shrinking, constantly trying to earn approval. And that is not living, that is surviving. Now, I want you to understand something important. Your inner voice is not just a voice. It is a belief system. It is the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you are worth. And the problem is, most people's inner voice is not built on truth. It's built on fear. It's built on old memories. It's built on pain. It's built on the opinions of others. And because of that, their inner voice becomes their jailer. But you have the power to change it. You have the power to reprogram that voice. You have the power to become the person who speaks with confidence, with clarity, with self-respect. You have the power to become the person who says, I will not accept disrespect. I will not accept less than I deserve. I will not allow anyone to treat me in a way that makes me feel small. Because here's the truth. If you don't speak up for your value, no one else will. If you don't defend your worth, others will define it for you. And the sad part is, people will define your worth based on how you allow them to treat you. They will treat you according to your boundaries. They will treat you according to your self-respect. They will treat you according to the way you speak to yourself. So you have to start speaking up. You have to start setting boundaries. You have to start saying no when something doesn't align with your values. You have to start saying yes to what truly matters to you. Because your inner voice is the voice of your identity. And your identity is what drives your life. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Setting boundaries is not being rude. Setting boundaries is not being selfish. Setting boundaries is not being unkind. Setting boundaries is being honest. Setting boundaries is being responsible. Setting boundaries is being mature, because boundaries are how you protect your energy. Boundaries are how you protect your time. Boundaries are how you protect your mind. Boundaries are how you protect your future. When you set boundaries, you are telling the world, I know my value, I know what I deserve, and I will not settle for anything less. And that kind of confidence is magnetic. People respect it, people respond to it, people want to be around it, because they can feel it. They can feel the difference between someone who is constantly seeking approval and someone who is standing in their truth. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but what if they leave? What if they don't like me? What if they get upset? And here's the thing. If someone gets upset because you set a boundary, that's not your problem. That's their reaction. That's their inability to respect your value. And you cannot base your life on the reactions of other people, because when you do, you will always be living in fear. You will always be trying to please. You will always be trying to be liked. And you will always be sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. And that is not living. That is disappearing. You have to remember this. You are not responsible for other people's feelings. You are responsible for your own life. You are responsible for your own peace. You are responsible for your own growth. And if someone cannot handle your boundaries, then they were never meant to be in your life at the level you need them to be now. Let's talk about what it looks like to speak up for your value. It looks like saying no without apologizing. It looks like being direct without being aggressive. It looks like being honest without being cruel. It looks like being firm without being harsh. It looks like being clear without being defensive. It looks like you standing in your power. And I want you to know that this is not a one-time event. This is a daily practice. Every day you will be tested. Every day you will have opportunities to lower your standards, to compromise, to shrink. Every day you will have moments where your old inner voice will try to come back and take control. But you have to be stronger than that. You have to be more committed to your future than you are to your past. Because the truth is, your inner voice sets your boundaries, and your boundaries set your life. If your inner voice is strong, your boundaries will be strong. And if your boundaries are strong, your lift will be strong. But if your inner voice is weak, your boundaries will be weak. And if your boundaries are weak, your life will be weak. So what do you want? Do you want a life that reflects your worth? Or do you want a life that reflects your fear? You have to choose. You have to decide. And you have to speak up for yourself, because the best version of you is not the person who stays quiet. The best version of you is the person who stands tall. The best version of you is the person who speaks with confidence. The best version of you is the person who knows their worth and refuses to settle. So start today. Start speaking up for your values. Start setting your boundaries. Start living like you matter. Because when you do, everything changes. Your inner voice sets your boundaries. Let me ask you something. What are you still holding on to? What is the weight you carry every day that you pretend doesn't affect you? Because here's the truth. You can't move forward while you're still carrying the past. You can't step into your best life while you're still holding on to the things that hurt you, the things that disappointed you, the things that made you feel small. And the longer you hold on to them, the heavier they become. They don't stay in the past. They follow you into the present. They steal your energy. They steal your focus. They steal your joy. Most people don't realize how much of their life is being spent on things that no longer serve them. They spend their time replaying old conversations, reliving old pain, reliving old failures, and they act like it's normal. They act like it's just how life is. But it's not. It's a choice. It's a choice to stay stuck. It's a choice to remain a prisoner of your own history. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to wake you up. Because if you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to let go of what's holding you back. You have to release the past. You have to stop carrying the emotional baggage that is weighing you down. You have to stop letting yesterday steal your today. And I want you to understand something important. Letting go doesn't mean you forget. Letting go doesn't mean you pretend it didn't happen. Letting go doesn't mean you become numb. Letting go means you stop allowing the past to control your present. Letting go means you stop giving your power away to something that already happened. You see, holding on to pain is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a bag of rocks on your back and wondering why you're exhausted. Holding on to anger is like trying to drive forward while keeping your foot on the brake. It doesn't work. It only damages you. And the thing is, people often hold on to the past because they think it's their identity. They think, this is who I am. This is what happened to me. This is my story. And yes, your past is part of your story, but it does not have to be the definition of your life, your T can be a lesson, not a life sentence. Your past can be a stepping stone, not a prison. If you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to stop letting your past define your future. You have to stop letting your mistakes define your identity. You have to stop letting other people's actions determine your self-worth. Because the moment you do, you will become free. And freedom is where greatness is born. Now, I want you to ask yourself something. What are you still holding on to that you don't need? What is the pain you're still carrying that you could release right now if you decided to? Because here's the thing. You don't have to carry it forever. You don't have to carry it for the rest of your life. You can choose to let it go. You can choose to forgive. And forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you. When you forgive, you don't excuse what happened. You don't say it was okay. You don't say it was acceptable. You don't say it didn't hurt. You simply say, I'm not going to let this control me anymore. And that is power. That is strength. That is maturity. That is choosing the best for yourself. Because holding on to the past is a form of self-sabotage. It is self-imposed suffering. It is choosing pain when you don't have to. And you deserve better than that. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live a life that is not controlled by what happened to you. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. You don't know what I went through. You don't know how deep the wound is. And you're right. I don't know. But I do know this. You have the power to choose. You have the power to decide what you will carry and what you will release. You have the power to decide whether you will be a victim of your past or a victor over it. And here's the thing, letting go doesn't mean you become weak. It means you become strong enough to stop giving your energy to something that hurts you. It means you become strong enough to move forward. It means you become strong enough to create a new future. Now, I want you to imagine your life like a backpack. Every time something painful happens, you put a stone in the backpack. You carry it, you carry it, you carry it. And over time, your backpack gets heavier and heavier. And you wonder why you feel tired. You wonder why you feel stuck. You wonder why you can't move forward. It's because your backpack is too heavy. But what if you took the stones out? What if you stopped carrying them? What if you chose to leave them behind? What? It chose to release the weight. That's what choosing the best for yourself looks like. It looks like unburdening yourself. It looks like releasing the past. It looks like choosing freedom. And when you do that, you open space for new things to enter your life. You open space for new opportunities. You open space for new relationships. You open space for new growth, because you cannot receive what you don't have room for. You cannot attract what you don't have space for. So if you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to let go of what's holding you back. You have to release the past. You have to stop carrying the weight. You have to stop letting yesterday steal your today. And you have to understand something deeply. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. The past is a teacher, not a dictator. The past is something you learn from, not something you live inside. So choose to let it go. Choose to move forward. Choose to be free. Let go of what's holding you back. And how we come to the point that ties everything together. The best version of you is not something that happens by accident. It's not something you stumble into. It's not something you get lucky with. The best version of you is a choice. And if you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to understand that your life is a series of choices. Every moment, every decision, every action is a vote for who you become. And the person you become is the person you choose to be. Most people think transformation is something that happens to them. They think, one day I'll wake up and I'll be different. But that's not how it works. Transformation is something you do. It's something you decide. It's something you commit to. It's something you live. You don't become the best version of yourself because you hope for it. You become the best version of yourself because you choose it, and then you act like it every single day. And here's the thing. Choosing the best version of yourself is not a one-time decision. It's not a single moment. It's a daily commitment. It's a constant choice, because every day you will be tempted to settle. Every day you will be tempted to go back to old habits. Every day you will be tempted to take the easy path. Every day you will be tempted to choose comfort over growth. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to choose differently. You have to choose discipline over desire. You have to choose growth over comfort. You have to choose clarity over confusion. You have to choose what is best for you, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like it, because the best version of you is not created in the moments of comfort. It's created in the moments when you push through the resistance. And here's the beautiful part. The person you become is the result of the choices you make consistently, not occasionally, not when you feel motivated, not when you feel inspired, but consistently. That's what creates your identity. That's what creates your destiny. That's what creates your life. So I want you to ask yourself a question. What choices am I making today that reflect the best version of me? What am I doing right now that shows I believe in my own potential? Because your choices are the proof of your beliefs. If you believe you are worthy, you will act like you are worthy. If you believe you are capable, you will act like you are capable. If you believe you deserve greatness, you will act like you deserve greatness. But if you don't believe it, if you don't truly feel it, your actions will betray you. Your actions will reveal your true identity. And your identity is what determines your results. So if you want to choose the best for yourself, you have to choose your identity. You have to decide who you are, not who you were. Not who others think you are, but who you choose to be. And once you decide, you have to live it. You have to embody it. You have to become it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. I don't have enough. I don't know enough. I'm not strong enough. And I'm here to tell you something that might challenge you. You will never be ready. You will never feel 100% prepared. The moment you wait for readiness is the moment you decide to stay where you are. The truth is, the best version of you is waiting on the other side of your willingness to start. The best version of you is waiting on the other side of your decision to take action. The best version of you is waiting on the other side of your commitment to change. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about choosing the best for yourself even when it's difficult. Because that is how you build a life that reflects your highest potential. You see, the best version of you is not a destination. It's a direction, it's a path, it's a way of living, it's a mindset, it's a set of habits, it's a commitment to growth, it's a refusal to settle, it's a decision to become more than you were yesterday. And when you choose that, everything changes. Your relationships change. Your career changes. Your health changes. Your mindset changes. Your confidence changes. Your energy changes. Because you are no longer living a life of reaction. You are living a life of intention. You are living a life of purpose. And the most important thing is this: you don't have to do it alone. You can choose to surround yourself with people who support your growth. You can choose to find mentors. You can choose to learn. You can choose to be inspired. But ultimately, the choice is yours. The responsibility is yours. The power is yours. So today, I want you to make a decision, a real decision. Not a wish, not a hope, a decision. To choose the best version of yourself, to choose the highest standard, to choose clarity over comfort, to choose your value, to let go of what holds you back, and to commit to your growth. Because the best version of you is not something that happens to you. It's something you choose. And when you choose it, your life becomes unstoppable. The best version of you is a choice.